So last time I told you about it really depends on depends on your mindset. Depending on your mindset, you will define certain things. Things like what works and what doesn't work. And then of course, things like what is good, what is not good, and probably more importantly, what is true and what is not true. Of course, a lot of people can understand all of this as something very, at best, something cultural. And there's some ground in it because there's a lot of culture involved. But to say that tantra is just a culture, that's a big misunderstanding. Now, some of the people may think this is very primitive. Now, of course, again, it depends on your mindset. Some of these yogis will think that what the world is doing is very primitive. Now, as an information, I want to tell you this. Those who wants to receive Guhya Garbha Tantra teachings or any kind of tantric teachings, please make note that you have received most elaborated, peaceful and wrathful 100 deity initiations. So you are entitled to receive these teachings. Please make note of this so that people like us, we don't have to give it again and again. Now, in Dharma language or a Bhutanese or whatever, we call it Wang. This word Wang is actually kind of a translation from Sanskrit word Abhisheka. The Abhishek has a two connotation. And as usual, the Sanskrit words are very rich. One word could mean two opposite stuff, two opposite thing. Like a word Tathagata. Tathagata could mean both come, and Tathagata also could mean go, gone. Now, Abhisheka has a connotation of dismantling and also empowering, sort of, like pouring, sort of. Now, as I said earlier, there's a lot of cultural stuff. And some of the cultural stuff are quite universal. Whether you are an English, or whether you are a Chinese, or whether you are a Bhutanese, or whether you are Norwegian, when you need to dismantle your dirt on your face, you wash with water. So this is why we use the water as a substance a lot. Some of the substance may be a little bit unique. Okay, anyway, Vas is one of the very important substance. But substance are also symbolic. Symbolism is a very, very important, and you, of all the people, modern people, you should know this. Especially, those modern people who have been to colleges. You must know Roland Barthes. If you don't know Roland Barthes, give me back your degree. It means you didn't study very well. Like the Roland Barthes talk a lot about symbolism. When moment there is a star stripe, printed on a fabric, Wyoming people gets very emotional. Same thing like national flags, money, all these are symbolism. So if the modern people are allowed to use symbolism, we are even more entitled to use symbolism. But most of the Pema Lingpa Wang, Abhisheka, especially these past 3 days, these initiations are quite unique. These are actually Maha-Ati related initiation. Well, usually it's not given to this kind of, this big crowd. But this is a degenerated time now. The fact that a lot of people here really put so much effort in coming here alone, I guess, shows some sort of a enthusiasm. So, and then there's also this concern that the Pema Lingpa teachings will extinct. This is why I'm giving it in this kind of crowd. So past 3 days, for instance, Shito initiation, peaceful and wrathful deity initiation, are very, very Ati Yoga oriented. It has texture, it has turgle, everything. So I'm going to speak a little bit more, concentrating on this particular thing today. Oh, fantastic. This is really good. Beep, 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 beep. You can't say no to tsok. Why? Tsok lam. Tsok lam. Tsok lam. Ah, beep, 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 beep.
继续吃。
No, 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 you can't say no to tsok. You don't have to eat. If given, you have to take, because it's a deity. You cannot say no to the deity. But you don't have to eat. My chain of thought is gone now. Okay. So I'm going to speak more regarding this. Now, to really give you a gist of this past 3 days initiation, I think it should be really, really familiar to you. In the world, what is the biggest suffering we have? Think about it. We have one of the most astute, profound, it's just such a big suffering. And this suffering is not getting less. It's actually becoming more astute, more profound, more vivid. It's not ecological problem. I'm sorry for those who are ecologically minded. It's not war. It's not, disease. It's identity. Identity crisis. That is the most powerful. It really, really torments us. Every one of us, be it you are young, be it you are old, we are all really, really tormented with the identity. What is identity? Gender, for instance. School degrees. Why do we have a degree? It's an identity stuff. And many of us, we have avatars now. We have different identity we call ourselves. Really, this, and then, I don't know, we use a specific shampoo to wash our hair just so that it sort of accentuates the identity. Different hairstyle, different fashion. Fashion is such a big expression of identity crisis. You know that. There's two people here relentlessly shopping all the time. Some of the most ridiculous things they buy. One of their jacket can actually build a temple. I don't even know those fashions name, but anyway, that's an identity, identity crisis. And also, because of the identity crisis, we do things. I mean, we try to do yoga, we try to do push-ups, we try to do sit-ups, we try to be healthy, because we want to really continue with this identity. And we eat stuff in order to sort of, confirm our existence. Bhutanese eat amadadzi, spicier the better. And Chinese, you eat this smelly tofu. Japanese eat wasabi. And the same thing, we try to have sex. And we try to have sex in many different manners. Some you will do a very quick ones. Some you will try to do a hippopotamus style. Hippopotamus?
有些你们会用河马的姿势去做。
Did you translate that?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever it is, we try to, it's so important to have that identity. Now, the whole teaching of the Buddha obviously is related to this also. So, let's go all the way to the most fundamental teachings of the Buddha. In the most foundational level of the teaching of the Buddha, Buddha said anatta, no self, no identity. That is a shock, because everybody is really trying to have an identity, and here comes the Buddha who says there's no identity, there's no self. And this very selflessness is taught in the most expanded way in the Mahayana teachings. Me, na, me, che, me, lu, me, no eyes, no nose, all that kind of teachings, a grander selflessness. Now, in the similar manner, this is where the tantra is very unique. Instead of saying there is no self or selflessness, then tantra says you are deity. And then not only that, it gives us the image of the deities, the function of the deity, all of that. So the tantric thinks like this. Now this is what I said. It's a different mindset. If you think you are Dick, Tom, Dick, Harry, that kind of Dick. Can you understand? You know, some people have a name as Dick, and some people even have name Fanny, right? In English, the Fanny means bottom, right? But people who have name as a Dick and as Fanny, they're kind of happy with it. I don't know why. So, the tantric things like this. If you are happy, and if you think you are Tom, Dick, Harry, whatever, Dorje, Wangchu, Trashi, whatever, what gives you the reason that you cannot think you are Tara, Guru Rinpoche, etc., etc.? Okay? Now, this is just general tantra. Now, as I said, the teachings that you have received these few days, those are Ati Yoga. Now here, the Ati Yoga people don't even talk about the deity. So they talk about things like three kayas. Well, even though they give us different set of names, they tell us to deconstruct them as we construct them. So we do this repetitiously. For instance, I'm sure they let you smell something nice, and then they let you smell something horrible. And then the Adi Yoga teaching says, what? Why do you think it's good? Why do you think it's bad? And so this kind of deconstruction. And then of course, this time is just, okay, so, as you may have heard in the text, the one most crucial repeated word is in the Tibetan language is called motre. Now this means in English, I can loosely translate, introduce. So the entire Abhisheka is introduced in different way. So I was giving the general audience an example of a girl who is wearing a diamond necklace. And she doesn't know it's a diamond. So she's begging everywhere, she's doing business, she's lying, she's cheating, she's trying to rob people because she needs to eat, she needs to survive. All the while she's wearing a diamond necklace. She could easily sort of live like a queen. Now someone can come and say, hey, girl, this is diamond. All problems are solved. Now, not so fast, because many times these girls, they don't believe they are wearing a diamond necklace. Because you are so used to think you are destitute, you live in this destitute. You are so used to condemning yourself. And in fact, if the person who introduced this, if he or she is not careful, if he or she just randomly say, hey girl, this is a diamond, she could really, beat you up for, making fun of her. You try to go to a beggar and say, hey, you are very rich. You can't say that. So where does this leave us? All the skillful means. It could even mean you show the girl another diamond, not on her neck, not her necklace, but somewhere else. And you can talk about the greatness of this. You can make her want that. And that's one way. The other way is we try to influence her so that she will not want her destitute, so that she can get rid of her poverty mentality. This is not that easy. In the tantra it says, actually there's just one word the Buddha could have said, you are perfect. That's all he could have said. But it doesn't work like this, because we have smelled too much smell. We have, we have done, we entangled ourselves too long. So these Abhishekas are carefully designed to deconstruct. Now, of course, those who wish to practice this, there's a whole path. You can also do it. You can do it in the most elaborated manner, or those who are absolutely lazy, who doesn't want to go through any pain, but who wants to gain everything, for them also there is a path. This is what makes the Mahāati so special. Now, let's switch our mind as a normal human being. Even as a normal human being, you should appreciate the fact that there is a living lineage that cherishes, that values, that talks about self-awareness. This is so important that you know. We have a lot of study on not self-awareness. We have a lot of study of awareness of other. Awareness of flower, shoes, all these. Awareness of chili, air. Awareness of all these heads. But nowhere there is a study of self-awareness. The greatest thing that mind can do actually is the self-awareness. Mind having the ability to aware another thing, that's actually very, very, very very minimal, if we talk in a percentage wise, that is not even 1% of the mind's ability. Yet we spend millions, billions, the education in the world spends billions time, energy on that. The real power and the ability of the mind is mind knowing itself. Nobody's interested. And some of us, supposedly, we are interested. That's why we are here. Because if you pay some attention to this ability of self-awareness, I will quote something very confusing for you. And this, I'm quoting from Günchen Rongzompa Chenpo, great Rongzompa. He said, as you practice Mahasandhi, I guess, let's say somebody asked him, so, as we practice Mahasandhi, what do we get? What's in there for us? He said, you will have a jackal's eye. It's a fantastic example. Although I don't know whether that's, anyway, the idea is this. Idea is jackals don't see difference between daylight and night. They don't see. So when people like us, when we go banana in the dark, jackals don't understand what you are talking about. This is what you become when you completely shrug off all distinctions. Jackal's eye is an example. You become, they will look at you and think, what's going on? What's wrong with you guys? Why all the fuss? Anyway, I hope and pray that at least sooner or later, you will reach to a stage where you will be able to ask yourself and others, what's the fuss? So that's it.
今天讲到这边。